Battle Royales. We've all played them, and honestly, why wouldn't we? There's arguably no better feeling in all of gaming than getting that first place. I mean, hell, I still remember my first Fortnite win, and that was probably 6-7 years ago. But we often forgot about gaming's original Battle Royale, that being Minecraft Hunger Games. If you were on YouTube anywhere from 2012 to 2015, you know about Minecraft Hunger Games. It was insanely popular, and recently it's got me thinking, why hasn't the actual Hunger Games gotten a video game yet? Oh, well, we'll get around to that. I mean, other than that, it has the potential to be a great game. So with a few little tweaks, here's the Hunger Games video game we deserve. To start, let's get controversial. To open the game, there would be a cutscene. In said cutscene, it would highlight moments of the 74th Hunger Games, and sadly, it would also feature Katniss's picture on the dome, followed by a cannon. Yep, in the game's universe, Katniss does not make it. Therefore, no rebellion, and the games would simply continue on. Followed then by another cutscene in the present day, where we would see the new game maker, and he would explain a change in the rules. From now on, children are safe from the games. Instead, the ages 18 through 25 will be the new age range. I told you we'd take care of it. I mean, obviously, still not great, but not kids? The game maker could explain this as being more entertaining or something like that because adults are more capable. You know, you get the point. So, obviously, you'd be playing the Hunger Games. I mean, what else would you expect? 24 or 48 players all lined up in a circle, time counting down, with a whole bunch of weapons, food, and medicine 20 feet in front of them. You guys know the rest. It would function pretty much like a battle royale. The players would go around the map, finding different weapons, useful items, surviving and hunting down other players until the last one stands. But this isn't just a battle royale. This is the Hunger Games. Throw in wild animals, throw in traps, throw in sponsors, hell, throw all of it in. That's our game, a survival battle royale. And like most other battle royales, our game would have to be a live service, continuously updating, adding new features, different arenas, new arenas, and all that kind of classic stuff. Right off the bat, arenas are probably the most important part of the game. You're only going to be spending about 90% of your time there. So the game would launch with 6 maps. 3 being from the movies, the first and second Hunger Games, as well as the Ballad of Songbirds one, and the other 3 would be new custom designed arenas. As time goes on, more and more arenas would be added, keeping things fresh. For example, maybe in the future, the upcoming Sunrise on the Reaping arena could be added. Most arenas would be large, besides the Songbird one, and for 24 to 48 players, the beginning of the match would be slower, more focused on finding resources and surviving the elements. But as the arena shrinks, the action will pick up. Speaking of the arena shrinking, unlike Fortnite and other battle royales, this wouldn't just be a storm. In fact, it wouldn't just be one thing. There would be a variety of events that could trigger the shrinking of the map. A poisonous gas, rabid animals, scorching fires, you name it. And they'll all come randomly, so you'll never know which one you'll get, making it different from game to game, just to keep it fun and more replayable. Me, personally, would think third person, but I'm probably just biased, so that's, still on the table. And there are plenty of gameplay styles to take inspiration from, but essentially, the gameplay loop would be scavenging, survival, and combat. You'd go around the map, trying to stay alive, finding items, weapons like daggers, slingshots, whatever, searching to find food from berries, wildlife, or even canned food items, and finally fight other players, using the environment or whatever you can to your advantage. The loot around the world would always be randomized, but it would generally keep higher quality items in more risky areas. Some of the items you'll find around game will include: the weapons in the game will mostly be melee, with a few exceptions like bows and slingshots. Other than that, you've got to stick to your spears, swords, and knives. But don't worry, there's going to be a bunch of different variants available as well. Armor and wearables are rare, but can be found in the riskier areas of the map, like the cornucopia or pre-designed hazard spots. Armor will give you a slight defensive advantage, and other items like ghillie suits for stealth. There would also be a few gadgets like smoke grenades or binoculars for their obvious uses, and traps could also be things like distraction devices or rope traps that can be placed and temporarily used. With all that in mind, staying alive isn't just about dodging attacks. It's about keeping yourself fed and hydrated. So therefore, a full hunger and thirst system would be added into the game, focusing more on that survival aspect. Water would be fairly common throughout the arena, but food would be much more rare. Neglect either one, and the penalties are going to stack up fast. First, a small drop in your stamina regen and movement speed. Then, slower reactions and heavier stamina drain, and eventually, full-on starvation or dehydration. Blurred vision, health slowly draining until your tribute finally collapses. Adding this would force you to weigh practically every choice. Do you risk a fight to loot supplies, or do you sneak off to scavenge berries or hunt some wildlife? To make things even more interesting, rare consumables like energy drinks or painkillers can be found for temporary boosts to stamina, healing, or just other survival stats. And lastly, sponsors. Of course, they gotta make it into the game. A few minutes into each match, somewhere on your screen a challenge would appear. This could be things like eliminate a player, hunt wildlife, or survive 2 minutes in a hazard zone. There'd be a bunch of these focusing on things like combat, survival, and exploration. But basically, once you complete one of these challenges, a care package will be dropped at your location, and these could have basically any type of loot. Completing multiple sponsor challenges throughout the game will continuously unlock you better and better loot. Since this would be a live service game, it would need to make money, so therefore a season mechanic would probably fit perfectly. Unfortunately, also offering a battle pass. But seasons would be a big time for major updates like map changes, map cycling, bug fixes, new weapons or traps, keeping the content fresh and replayable. Could even throw in themes based on real life seasons. With said seasons would also come probably my favorite part, districts. At the start of every new season, you're given the choice to pick between all the districts. Once you choose, you will spawn into that district, and this will basically be your lobby for the current season. Each district will have its own distinct map based on the actual district, offering an MMO kind of aspect being this player hub. Explore this little social area with buildings, nature, shops, all while running into other online players. These districts would also be the home to sponsor buildings, and these buildings are where you can buy small perks, kinda like Call of Duty, things like reduced hunger drain, quieter footsteps, faster healing. To obtain these upgrades, you'll have to earn sponsor points, and you do this by completing sponsor challenges in-game. Districts would also bring seasonal competitions, pitting all of the district's player bases against each other. Play in Hunger Games and rank in higher spots to earn your district points. Continue playing games to increase your district's total score, and at the end of the event, the district with the highest score wins. They could compete for all sorts of cosmetics, skins, adding even more competition to the game, but also more community. These events could obviously be themed, with the cosmetics and skins reflecting those themes. There would have to be some sort of balancing depending on how many players are in each district, but you still get the point. At least I hope you do. And there's my Hunger Games. Feel free to drop your own ideas or features down in the comments, as I'd love to hear them. But remember, if you enjoyed this video and this type of content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe.